No.
Follow Spirit Cake, yeah?
Follow Spirit Cake. Follow Spirit Cake. Hang on. Hi, guys.
Hey, guys.
What's up, Shashi? What's up, Alexandra? Love seeing you two beautiful, badass ladies.
Hello,
First
guys.
on.
Just writing in a comment real quick. We appreciate you. Thank you for holding.
You. Thank you for watching us multitask. Follow at
Hello, Jen
Spirit
Juice.
Cake.
All right. This is going to be a great live. I can feel it.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody's energy with this, what is it, super blue, full eclipse moon? How many more things can this moon be?
Right. Hi, KD. Hey, everybody. I'm so glad you guys are on with us tonight. We're happy to be here.
Right off the bat, how do I end a toxic relationship?
You just
get out. You just get out.
You just do.
You commit to yourself and say, I'm a badass and I deserve better.
Correct.
Bye, Felicia. What's...
You put a hashtag in front of that?
Maybe.
Yes,
Was
run. When you remain in a toxic relationship, you know, you're kind of echoing a signal out into the universe that you don't love yourself and you put up with crap.
Good point.
So, leave. Just leave. All right.
Commit to yourself.
Thank you.
See, they get it. Bye, Felicia.
Cindo. They do get it. Bye, Felicia. That's what it is.
Is that a hashtag or is that an at?
It's a hashtag for sure.
You sure?
Yeah, Bye, Felicia's a hashtag.
It is?
Yes, of course.
Why is that not in our Spirit Cake, hashtag thread?
We should have that.
We should have that.
We should. And yes, please follow our page Spirit Cake for
Yes.
fun memes and a spiritual twist on memes. Mm-hmm. Yay, she loves Spirit Cake.
Do not take yourself so seriously in this spiritual awakening process.
Exactly. Have fun with it. So let's start with a good, juicy question. Let's get gooey.
You, the Queen
Sarah
Ash.
and I were talking about
gooey.
last night. Sarah and I were talking about how
Sticky.
you can deepen your friendships and relationships when you're willing to get dirty and muddy and all of that. So we came up with the word.
And with yourself too. You got to be willing to go into the sticky. The shadow side, right? But we're calling it the sticky. Or did we call it the gooey?
We called it the gooey.
The gooey.
The gooey. Let's get gooey.
Let's get gooey.
Because a lot of people get in rifts, in conflict, and then they don't want to work through that. They just want to brush it aside and put it in a container in storage somewhere. And your friendship can't grow that way. And anything that you brush aside will continue to perpetually present itself in your life. So don't
be afraid to get gooey.
Right. Within my friendships, I like to work through issues, or else you're just walking in avoidance and denial.
Yeah.
And then that same dark energy that you've put aside is going to resurface because that's the law of the universe. So
let's get gooey together, guys.
Let's get gooey.
Let's all have mud baths. How cheesy can we make this? Let's get gooey, ooey, sticky.
Let's get sticky.
You should make that a song.
We should make it a song.
You should start rapping.
We should do it together.
Can you rap it?
No.
Can you beatbox it?
No.
Can you hashtag? Okay. Let's do your side.
I'm wondering
first.
what this little thing here is.
Oh my god.
Okay, cool. All right.
I feel like I am on fire tonight.
You are on fire.
I've been going gnarly crazy all day.
Sarah's on fire. This girl is on fire.
Hey.
Hey.
Did you guys hear that? No, but really.
What if it gets bad? Leave before it gets bad.
Just sang for you.
So here's the thing, when you first meet somebody and you pick up a red flag, that is a foreshadow of all the bad that is to come, right? So don't just hang out, leave. Right. So don't wait for it to get worse. You already know.
Right.
God is dropping divine knowledge on you. The universe is. So when you receive that divine knowledge, which is what we call claircognizance, the ability to know without knowing how we know, and you just follow that internal instruction manual, then you're led to the right soulmate. Oops. Which is you.
Which is you.
Which is
You're your own soulmate.
That sounded like an advertisement.
It does, right? Spiritual enlightenment. You're your own soulmate.
Don't be afraid. It is you. There is nothing to be afraid of.
We do it with a British accent.
I cannot. Oh my god.
All right, we're silly tonight. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Apologies ahead of time for, I don't feel like I have a filter this evening.
She doesn't.
Maybe I don't ever, but tonight, really, I've got no idea what's about to come
because we've
out.
been crushing. All right, let's take a good
Okay.
question.
Can you explain the energy? This is just the first one I saw. The energy we will receive tomorrow for the eclipse. I think I'm just going to answer that simply that I just, literally on my page, I just posted a little write-up thing on the picture of it, and that was kind of my download for it. The biggest thing that's been coming up for myself personally, as well as my clients, is just facing your deepest fears. And a couple people even said too, that's like, oh my God, this is a portal. It's like, there's always a portal. There's always another portal. Mm-hmm. So don't then have fear, mm-hmm. right? That like, if you miss something, if you don't do something right, if whatever happens, then you're gonna like miss out. It's like portal FOMO.
Yes.
There's no such thing. There's always going to be some new thing to, or some new opportunity to then releasing fears. It just seems like the deepest subconscious ones have been coming up the most.
Which can affect you. Because what I found this week is a lot of people...
Can they affect you?
A lot of people are displacing their crap onto you. So they're projecting so much because they're suffering because all that stuff is bubbling up.
Yes.
And rather than like processing through their emotions, they just want to unload on you.
They would like for you to unpack their bags for them, and that's not your job.
Exactly. So if we flip it to your perspective, it's like, oh, now is a good time to implement boundaries.
Yes.
Where if someone tries to project their crap onto you, be like, hey, like that, I feel like this is heavy right now, and this is your stuff, and I just need to honor myself right now, and this doesn't feel good to me.
Totally.
So honoring your own boundaries.
Yes. And just working through whatever those fears are. Because they're the deep, deep unconscious ones that sometimes even just come up in your dreams more so than in your waking time.
They can go back many lifetimes.
So many.
So it's like, depending on where you're vibrating or whatever, like the deeper you go, the more you kind of unlock or uncover some of those skeletons that were deeply buried under the mud. So if you're having like random, arbitrary thoughts that feel like they're not yours, they're probably not yours, but you did make an agreement with them in a previous life potentially. So now's the time to, we have to take ownership of everything that we feel.
Totally.
If you can do that, then you're practicing self-mastery.
Correct.
If you don't hold yourself accountable and you project all your stuff onto people, then you're trying to take as opposed to give.
And then you lose the upgrades that the universe has for you.
Yes.
So unpack your own shit.
Unpack your own crap.
And get the upgrades that then the universe has to offer you. Because everybody gets points.
Right.
It's like when we were in kindergarten and we got the gold star. Like, everybody gets a gold star.
Yes.
If you unpack your own bags.
And there's a silver lining. Like, when you feel a lot of old emotions surfacing, that's a lot of good energy and higher vibrational frequencies being thrown at you.
Yeah.
It's just that your body doesn't know where to file it, so it goes into, like, overdrive. So think
and
of
this is the gooey that we're talking about, too.
So think of the
don't be afraid to get gooey.
Exactly. And think of the promotion that's on the other side of that if you're willing to walk through it alone. If you go tell your friends about it or you go project your issues onto other people, you're going to feel good temporarily because it's no different than taking a hit of drugs or whatever. But that same energy is going to resurface. So when are you going to be willing to walk through it on your own?
Yeah.
By holding the giant hand of your spirit guides, the universe, and all of that. Like, you have a support system.
Yes.
And they're with you.
That's a good point that you made, too, of, like, you know, whether it's drugs or alcohol or whatever, like, now is not the time to suppress whatever emotions are coming up for you with whatever addictions.
Yes.
Even if they're subtle.
The temptation's going to be there because you're feeling so much.
Yeah, and then that's how we shut off.
Yep.
So we use these things because we don't want to get into the gooey, and we want to shut off those emotions so then we feel better, but in the long run, it actually feels worse because then you suppress things and those come up in different areas in the body. So all of that long-winded to say, dive into your fears because ultimately there's the payoff for who the next version of it is that you're becoming.
Yes.
And what you're here to offer the world and sharing your gifts with the world, but you can't do that if you're still holding on to whatever those deeper fears are. So that's why it's coming up.
And it's coming up because the universe thinks you're strong enough to interface with it.
Totally.
If you weren't strong enough to face those things, then it wouldn't be coming up for you. So there's a spiritual promotion on the other side of that.
Yeah.
So do you want to skyrocket into higher states of consciousness, or do you want to inhibit your growth by continuing to unload on other people?
Like, spirit won't ever give you anything that you can't handle.
Right.
So anything that's in your experience right now is given to you for that particular purpose because you can handle it.
So do you want to be
the whole concept of like,
right.
oh my gosh, I can't handle this. I need to go have a drink or have a whatever, right? Like, you're then just
shoving it back
down and running away and telling the universe that it shouldn't trust you.
Mm-hmm.
We can
learn a lot from these iPhones. I mean, do you want to be an iPhone with a capacity of 16 gigabytes? Or do you want to be an iPhone
X,
with a
bitch.
capacity of 256 gigabytes? Are you going to freak out every time you get too many energies and photos? Or are you going to process your stuff, right? And be that, like, king of an iPhone? I can handle all this information.
I really feel like you're, like, discrediting the Android over here. Like,
I'm not discrediting the Android. I just know the iPhone. That's all.
And I'm about to consciously uncouple with the Android and go iPhone tomorrow.
Someone offered her an iPhone X for free. That's the kind of manifester she is.
Very nice friend.
Right?
And I'm in gratitude and being in my feminine
and he's watching.
Of receiving. And thank you, baby. And we won't say his name because we don't want everybody blowing him up. Wait, I want one.
That's the thing. Like, we just have to have that expansive capacity to be able to withhold information.
Yes.
And we all have the ability to do that. No one is more divine than another person. We all have those abilities. It's just a matter of being like, all right, I'm suffering right now. And even though I'm suffering, I'm being given an opportunity to go within myself and to feel my emotions so that I can expand as a being and so that I can heal as a being.
Yes. And somebody over on that side, I just saw, they're like, oh my God, why? I don't know if that's because I said I was going to go over to iPhone. Because we had communication problems. Mm-hmm. Because I have a Mac computer and an Android and transferring content.
And he was her Android. He wasn't a good communicator.
He was not a good communicator.
Yeah.
Together,
and then she had to assess her value system and see if he was like a vibrational match for her.
Exactly.
And she concluded.
Well, if the Android and the MacBook were a vibrational match for each other, clearly they're not.
So she concluded.
I mean, you can, but you have to get a translator system so that then the information can connect, and it's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. And she got tired of trying to like work with him. Ugh. Like he wasn't listening.
Was not.
So
listening.
She's like, I want to create a reality with a great soulmate who's a great communicator, and he's not filling that need right now.
Who really sees me.
Who really sees you.
Yes.
And who can even give you like a portrait feature.
Not just the portrait feature, the selfie portrait feature. Okay? Oh my God. I can't.
So she's upgrading because she has more capacity now. She sees the value in what she has to offer, and she can really stand the test of time with 256 gigabytes.
Yes. I really value communication in relationships. And our value systems are the same now.
But
plus,
means
more content for you guys.
But she grew a lot within that 16 gigabyte. She had to learn patience. She had to learn to tolerance.
I had to translate, so I learned a new language.
Yes, she did. She had to stretch her faith that a better iPhone would come along.
I had to hold and trust the universe that it was going to support me in bringing the true divine partnership of an iPhone X. And it did. I've officially manifested my ideal partner, guys.
He had a really hard time letting go.
He's been freezing all day. Spazzing out inner communication style with himself. His emotional intelligence is like glitching.
So yeah, that's the story with your relationship right now. Do you want an upgrade, or do you want to remain trapped in the same old thing?
Okay. Next question.
Okay.
All right, let's take another one.
I'm crying. I'm so emotional. But we're consciously uncoupling.
Absolutely.
Just want to make that clear. You know, I've communicated, I've shared it. He's fine with it.
Full moon ritual. Let's see. I just started going back. I'm having a hard time seeing just because of the light. I'm having
Okay.
I just started going back to school, and I'm in recovery from substance abuse.
Okay.
And between school, work, recovery, and my financial struggle, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know what to do.
So they're going back to school after substance abuse? Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Is it good? What is that? Okay. You gotta listen to your body right now more than anything. And I totally get that. And that's something that I've had experience with too, right? And that I always share with people is just, we forget to listen to our body. And so sometimes with substance abuse, and I get it, been there too, it's running away from whatever, right? It could be your purest divine light. You could have an amazing gift to share with the world. You could have had somebody tell you that you weren't good enough to be here. You could not feel comfortable in your body because it's uncomfortable. So the relationship between your body's consciousness and your spirit consciousness need to have that communication. So I would just maybe, as a simple start, dedicate some ritual time for yourself. The minute that you wake up in the morning and before you go to bed, just like putting your hand on your heart or somewhere that you can physically like feel into your body and just start having a conversation with it. And what does it need? And whatever withdrawal symptoms you might be going through, it's like, okay, I'm committed to being down here. I'm committed to this relationship. I'm committed to giving you what you need, body, right?
Let me fix the connection real quick. One second.
We're going to pause for 2 seconds. You guys have seen the live that I did. I'm going to post that on YouTube as well so that everybody can watch that one again.
Which one is it?
Magic. You want? No, 5G.
And what's the password? 818?
Don't say it out loud.
Okay, 209. Huh? 9206.
Yes. Everybody's going to know my password now. Hang on, guys. Yes.
Okay.
Pause.
So we're back on. Okay.
We're good?
We're good.
Okay.
Okay.
And you guys can see Phil?
You guys are you
No.
guys back?
Why is that circle thing happening?
I don't know. Let's see.
We're projecting out too much energy.
What was the other one? Sedona, right?
Yeah, Sedona wings. Yeah. What is that? Oh. Do you want to just try it off of the thing again? Pausing. Can you guys see mine okay? Give a couple hearts if you can. Yours is on. Okay. We always have some sort of weird thing with both of ours. Maybe the iPhone X will change the communication style.
Let's try now.
Are you on one of mine or did you take it off?
I'm on Sedona.
Take it off like you had before. Save. We don't know, so we're going to pause. But I'll just kind of complete the thought with that. But you guys have seen the live as well. So anytime anything's coming up for you, whether it's emotions or whether you would, everybody always has the choice, right? So you're either going to choose love or fear. If you choose fear, then you're going to go towards something that then is going to suppress those emotions. So whether that's a drink, whether that's whatever. But if you could take just even 90 seconds and choose love and give yourself love and processing your emotions, get gooey, then we give that communication to our physical bodies, and then our body, the consciousness of our body doesn't feel abandoned. Right? And so a lot of the times a big conversation that a lot of our deeply rooted beliefs, behaviors, all of that stuff stems from is this abandonment feeling. But if we're constantly abandoning our body or cheating on our body, right, the conversation with our body to then do whatever, a drink, a whatever habit, or just I can't deal with this right now. I'm going to, go into work mode or whatever it is. Then you abandon yourself. You cheat on yourself with something else. And then that is not the healthy communication. So we just need to bring our awareness and our consciousness back towards. He's just taking a second to kind of figure out the connection. Cool, we got thumbs up. So it's just being conscious with our conversation to our body. How we doing?
I think we should be back on now. Good.
Yay.
We'll see how that goes.
Okay, so Phil should be back on.
We're back on.
Why do I keep attracting guys who are narcissists? What does PD mean?
Narcissists.
Because if you're playing, I deal with this so much. So let's just be real, because we're always real. There's a part of you that is playing a victim. Mm-hmm. So narcissists are usually attracted to the empaths, mm-hmm. the ones who want to give so much, mm-hmm. right? And not set really healthy boundaries and not have a super high value system.
Exactly.
So I would just reevaluate your value system, the maybe things that you've slipped up on as far as making agreements with yourself and then choosing to not be in such an alignment with those mm-hmm. values or agreements mm-hmm. that you had with yourself. And it's like, what are you making, I don't want to say an excuse, but it's like, let's say you make an agreement with yourself and then you're tested on the agreement, let's say by a really hot guy, and he's a narcissist, but you're like, I'm making a value system to not play the victim and I don't want to date a narcissist. Oh, but he's really hot. Like, do you make an exception for that then? Do you give up on your values just because this person has another quality that maybe you would also want?
This is a download that I got this week, you guys. A lot of what we attract into our lives is so that we can get to the point where we say enough. That simple. All right?
Isn't that sad, though?
It's like we attract things because our pain body, which is the accumulation of all of our traumas over the course of many lifetimes, mm-hmm. attracts these lessons so mm-hmm. that we can eventually say, I'm done with this. I'm done with you. I dismiss you.
Yes.
And I know that I'm beautiful as I am.
Yes.
I am a divine creation of God.
Yes.
I'm an extension of God, and I refuse to ever place myself in situations like this again. Mm-hmm. So a lot of what you attract in your life is just so that, like, if you hate your job, maybe it's time to say enough and step out and do something that you love. If you're not happy in your relationship, maybe it's time to say enough.
Right.
That's what it comes down to.
And
saying yes to yourself and learning how to say no to people.
Yes. And create some sort of physical anchor, right? It could be a little like heart tattoo on your wrist, right? Mm-hmm. That reminds you that you love yourself. So every time you have a side thought, right? That's like, oh, maybe I want to go over there and do that. And then you happen to look at your wrist, then that reminds you like, nope, stay true to myself. Right. I love myself. I love doing like tangible anchors like
and eventually using that anchor that you have on your wrist and integrating that particular energy that mm-hmm. you get from it into your body. Mm-hmm. So we're going into more deep stuff now, but like if you get a tattoo and it empowers you, like we have to take the energy of that and place it in the body.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because if you're always dependent on the tattoo mm-hmm. to empower you, there's
then
still an emotional
crutch.
crutch.
External, even though it's
it
on
is.
That's a good point. I like that.
That's why I haven't gotten tattooed. I think they're beautiful.
Right.
But I think it's important for people to be mindful of that.
Sure.
Are you relying on things for energy?
Right. No, mine, they always meant something, but yeah, they weren't really relying on as anything. But I like that.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I did like a couple piercings. Those remind me. Some of my jewelry pieces definitely remind me of what I don't want and what I should believe in myself more of. So, but yes, those are all external. So I'll just integrate
she's
more.
Saying tattoos bring energy. Yes. So anything that is of significance to you is like a portal. So from that,
but
you
don't
kind of
use it
as a crutch.
Or like this has all the power, and if this were to go away, then I would lose my power.
Right.
Like,
integrate
it and say this is an external reminder of what I have already integrated.
Yes, it's activating something that was already inside me.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you fill that space
Good
out.
distinction.
You fill that space out.
Yeah. Cool. We've got some gotchas
Good.
on your side. Yeah.
All right, let's take another question.
Cool. Like
Let's
that.
see,
Awesome.
let's see. Advice on repelling and protecting from negative attachments. Well, we're bathing in a new energy now.
Yes, we are.
Where you cannot be touched because you're such a carrier of light. You have to start claiming your light and carrying that torch. You know, and if you feel like someone's placing a curse on you, if you think that that can affect you negatively, then it will. Don't give it that much power. Stand in your power in all that you are and be like, I am all that I am, right? And nothing that is malevolent can permeate my energy field. I'm a divine being of love and light.
Totally. I would say, what are you making agreements to? So sometimes we make agreements with thoughts, and it's like, well, who determined that agreement? When was that agreement determined? What are you in? Like, is there something that you're, yes, agreeing to that you don't want to agree to? Or is there something that you want to do that you have resistance around? Like, all those different things. And then what was that? I told you that really gnarly down. Okay, so another thing that's a lot of, like, I'll do with, like, your own energy. So you have your own energy field, and imagine and almost say to yourself, this goes for everybody too, that you can do anytime, I lovingly and willingly release any conscious or any energies that I either consciously or unconsciously attracted that are either not mine or not loving. And then I knowingly and willingly call back any energies that I either consciously or unconsciously expelled out that are mine.
Right.
So you're calling back your power as well as releasing anything that maybe you took on that's weighing you down energetically.
Totally.
And that's just like a little simple, like, you can close your eyes and do that in 2 seconds. And it makes you feel so much better.
Absolutely. Cool.
So I hope that one helps. Cool. We got that's so good. Awesome. And feel free to make it your own. You know, like, however I said it, you can either use a version of that or, you know, whatever resonates most with you and how you would like to say it for yourself. Is it pausing again?
It's all right.
Well, good.
I think it just happens sometimes.
Okay.
Cool. So let's take... I know, I'm sorry it's freezing, you guys.
I know. I think, what was that, that I looked up, the sliders? So I think sometimes when we get on here and we just send, like, so much energy out.
Yeah.
And it might be just freezing. Because we did it at his house the other day.
And it was fine.
And yours was fine, but then
Hers
mine was
wasn't.
freezing. So then we do it at my house, and mine is fine, and his is freezing.
What is that?
We don't know. I'm going to get the iPhone X, and then we'll see what happens.
Cool.
Okay.
Let's take another question.
What do you do with old pain that is resurfacing? You go into your heart. You put your hand on your heart. You ask the emotion what it is trying to tell you that you haven't listened to yet, what message it has for you, what lessons it's here to teach you. What else is another good one? And then once you get that lesson, then allow the energy. Usually the energy then shifts into either a different feeling, or if you can see it, it can be a different shape or something like that. So, but if something keeps coming up, then it means that there's still an unconscious conversation around that energy, emotion, or thought that just has another layer to it.
For sure.
So we all have layers. There's not one petal to a rose, right? There's plenty of thorns, but but we have to get the, you know, in order to get to the core, which is where the juicy good stuff is, like, that's our center, that's our core self-love. You have to go through all the petals of a rose. People say layers of an onion, but I'm not a big fan of onions. So I say rose now.
Oh, man.
What is going on?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to let you take over for a bit.
Okay, he's going to fix his phone for a minute. Hang on a second. Lots of full blood blue moon.
Again, how many times, or how many of you guys feel like this whole energy is like a Mercury retrograde, non-Mercury retrograde? It's way too intense. All right, let me find another question with you guys. Oh my God, I'm totally behind. Heart healing. Yes. Awesome. Rough time, 3 months now. Didn't get a job. Please help. Okay, so so the first thing that comes up is, are you in resistance to anything with this job situation? I didn't see, there's more comments. I didn't see who this is for. So, is there anything that you're in resistance to? Is there maybe what your mindset is around money and making money, and what your belief system is around that? Sometimes we all have a lot of unconscious belief systems in our relationship to money. And you guys have heard me say before too that how there's correlations to how you do one relationship and how you do the other one. So whatever your unconscious behavior is around one relationship can be affecting similarly the other relationship. So no, I get that it's no, not money at all. But what's your relationship to the job situation then? So I'm just thinking, is it something to do with money? Is it something to do with you stepping into your, authentic, highest version of yourself? Like, what's the relationship that you have around it? What's the conversation that you're saying?
I'll just be on this one.
Okay, cool. Because it's just being weird.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. All right.
All right.
What's that? Should we do this one? Do you want to read that?
Letting go of my boyfriend, who was my business partner and an empath and medium. He made me feel terrible. Any tips for healing? If he made you feel terrible... Wait, are you the empath or is he?
He was my business partner and an empath and medium.
He made me feel terrible. Any tips for healing?
If he made you feel terrible, no one can ever make you feel anything.
We put ourselves in that position.
And and as much as it still hurts, right? So there's still the human factor if you're like, but I feel like crap. So I totally get that. And it's just pulling the awareness back to taking on your power again, that he doesn't have the position to make you feel anything unless you are in agreement to that. So him making you feel terrible, that was just an agreement that you made to let him make you feel terrible. Does that did I say that right? So all that being said, get into acknowledgement of where you made that agreement with yourself and pull all of your power back and recognize whatever either decisions that you made with him that maybe your intuition was saying no to. Forgive yourself for that, because we all do. Sometimes we test
and do deep shadow work and ask yourself, why did you put up with that pain for so long?
Yes, because that's usually the victim conversation.
What was he giving you that you couldn't give yourself?
What he was giving you that you couldn't give yourself. That's super solid. Totally. We all do this stuff.
We do.
It's like unconscious patternings that we're like, but wait, totally. I didn't know. And it's like, somewhere you did.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as strengthening your intuition. There's only denial of your intuition.
Yes. So if he made you feel terrible and you told that to your friends, that's still playing the victim.
Right.
When you
and
put an
you
end to
not
that.
Then saying, okay, like if you went to your friends, I like that you said that, if you went to your friends and were like, okay, it makes me feel terrible, like why wasn't that then just the decision that you were like, no, okay, I'm done. Right? But we're also women, and we're like, oh, but we're building a business, and we can fix it, and no, we can like try to work through this. Give somebody a certain amount of opportunities. It's their job and their responsibility to work through their stuff as well. So he's just as much in the needing to take acknowledgement for his actions as you are. But if you only want to be pointing the finger to him, then no healing can take place for you, because you're not in the space of just acknowledging
you're
just
leaving
the
your body to get temporary relief.
Totally.
You're leaving your body. Stay in the body and feel the pain and ask yourself, what do I want to create?
Now.
Got that lesson. Thanks so much. Really don't want to do that again.
You've helped me refine what I want.
Right, exactly. So, Kobe Mayman, good stuff. Okay, somebody says they can't hear us. I don't know. Everybody else, you can hear us, right?
Yeah, they can hear us.
Okay, cool. Nice. We got lots of thank yous on this one. 100%, super solid. This is interesting. How many opportunities, question mark. So you give a new relationship as there takes some time to get bold communication. I don't know. Does there? Like where are we? One, your intuition is a feeling. You know that feeling before communication. Like that's the first communication before any tangible words are communicated. So new relationship, old relationship, there's a communication that your intuition is having to you. It's just about whether you're in denial of it or whether you're willing to listen to it or not.
Think of your intuition as a tube through which your spirit guides speak to you.
Yes. So it's still happening, but that's the first communication. And does it take time to have bold communication? Or what if we could step into that and make that a reality?
And what if we can get clear before we enter a relationship?
That's what I mean, yeah.
As to what we want.
100%. What if you could have a bold conversation with someone that was like, hey, what are your values in relationship and love?
If you're wanting to be a mom and you already know that that's your what you want in your life,
totally.
You go on the dates and you say, hey, are you looking to be a parent in the future?
Totally.
But
and
we're afraid to ask those questions because subconsciously we already know that they're going to shut us down if we say that, and then we embark on this journey that's very painful.
Right. Or maybe they don't know too.
Maybe they don't know,
like,
but
I don't know.
And if they don't know, then you may want to question it.
Then is that your idea? If you know what you want,
do you want someone who knows? Like you should be with someone who knows what they want.
Totally. Everybody, when it comes to relationships,
but
don't get into a relationship until you know what you want.
Right.
Otherwise, you're gonna get like a wishy-washy thing,
and then you're gonna waste a whole lot of time.
And a whole lot of weird communication. Then communication won't happen. So I'm a big believer in bold conversation or bold communication. Like, why not? What are we supposed to do?
If you're
beat around the bush?
If you're self-sufficient financially, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, then why not be real?
Yes.
You don't need anything from anyone. You've got you and you've got God within you.
Right.
And you've got a support system in your family and your friends.
Yes.
So why can't you just be straightforward?
Are you on your game with yourself and your relationship with you?
To where you don't have an attachment.
Exactly.
To what that person can, like you won't
be worried about whether they're going to give you something that you can't get.
Yeah.
So if you're like, I'm right with me emotionally, financially, like I feel good on my own, someone is now coming in to add to my life, but they're not giving me anything that I don't already have.
Can they hang vibrationally?
Can they hang?
Can
you vibrationally hang?
Can you?
That's awesome.
There's nothing wrong with... So I tell people, like, don't be afraid to ask for what you want.
Totally.
Like, you know what you want before you enter the relationship, and you're like, oh, but he's so sweet, I won't say anything today. And then, oh, he's so sweet tomorrow, and I won't say anything today.
Yes.
And then 2 months later, you're miserable in a relationship where you're being controlled, and your mercy is in his hands.
Yeah.
You're at the mercy of him.
Yeah, and this is interesting. So I like that somebody says you shouldn't accept anything less than what you know you deserve exactly.
Yes.
However, yes. And then that opens up the beautiful can of worms conversation about... Do you know that you deserve amazing, healthy love? Because if there's a block unconsciously that is telling you otherwise, then that sentence, as much as we know that consciously, unconsciously, that's not what we'll create in our environment.
Has it been registered within your subconscious mind?
Yes. Have you cleared the block so that then true value and understanding your true value and what you deserve can come through? I'm good at saying it, but I'm also blocked. That's so honest. And I think that's a lot of people.
It is.
That's dope. So there's some blocks to look at. And there is for everybody, which is why we love having the conversation about relationships, because it's everything.
And the right partner will help you walk through those blocks.
100%. And not unpack your bags for you, but stand there with you
and
be like, yo, I'll unpack mine, you unpack yours, but like, I won't let you, like, do my laundry for me
Right.
and, like, unpack and, like, re-roll my underwear.
Yeah, like I had a
Whoever
mom growing
rolls
up. I don't need another one.
I didn't. That's a good point. Awesome. How are you guys? Is this helping? We've got laughs. We've got hearts.
That's
We love
great.
you guys. We love that you're always tuning in to really just understand yourselves more and understand how to communicate and just have deeper, more amazing relationships with each other, whether it's romantically or friendship. Our relationships are everything.
For sure.
We are relational beings,
We
right?
are.
The one with spirit, the one with your body, everything. The eclipse is triggering the blocks to tackle, you bet. And that's what it's here for. So that you can then rise from those blocks, get the support that you need around working through those blocks, because we can't always see them ourselves either. So getting the support so then you can reach those next higher levels.
Exactly.
For yourself. And you guys already know, that's what we're here to support you too with. So anytime you guys need anything, you can contact us for different sessions and whatnot. So went on a date with this guy and had the best time but never heard back. Why? I don't know. Because he
didn't have as good of a time as you did. That's why. I mean, we really have to get down to like just being real, because in your mind you might have fabricated a fantasy, but that didn't equate to what he had in mind.
Right.
And you just have to be okay with that.
And maybe your value system didn't match his value system. Right? Like if we can move away from continuing to ask why, because the why is going to keep you in the past, and
Right.
as long as you're in the past, you're not then attracting your future.
Totally.
So
Don't over question everything.
Just say next.
He didn't call you back. That's it.
Thank you.
Keep it moving. Thank you, universe, for propelling me forward into
Right.
the next person.
Right. Could have been a blessing in disguise.
Yep.
Who cares?
It was a blessing in disguise.
It was a blessing in disguise.
It
Do you really
was.
need to figure out the why? Because then you could just stay in analysis paralysis, and meanwhile, like, your true, amazing soulmate, twin flame, whatever, is, like, around the corner that you're like, but why was this dude not my guy? And you can't even see
That's
the
your
one
mind.
that's coming your way.
That's your mind. It's like
Next.
linear. It's like, why didn't this happen? And it looks back into the past and into the future. Like, your spirit is circular. It's quantum.
Exactly.
You don't need to understand the whys and the whos. You just need to keep going forward.
Totally. They're like, next, bye, Felicia. What's the male version of Felicia? Chad?
Maybe?
Bye, Chad.
But what I'm trying to say is, like, your mind will try to understand everything.
Yes.
Your spirit does not need to understand. It just already knows.
Yeah.
It already knows.
And that's kind of, when we're always talking about intuition too, like, how many times then do we sit there and question our intuition? Like, if something good is coming your way, do you sit there and be like, but why?
Your higher self is
Why
like
is
hovering.
Spirit bringing me that amazing miracle opportunity?
Totally. Your higher self is like floating above you, like, I'm over here. Stop focusing on this or that. I'm right above you. Look at me, please.
Right.
So we lose track sometimes.
Yes.
We get scattered.
Yes.
Have a relationship with your higher self, and everything else will fall in its place. I promise you.
Exactly. The mind and spirit makes total sense, Bill.
Yes.
Exactly. We have to align all of those. And then in the body.
Right.
Because the mind and the body are also still a separate consciousness. That's how I see it. Anyway, so you got spirit, you got mind, you got body. You got higher
Exactly.
self, you've got consciousness, you got mind, you got spirit, you got higher body. A higher body.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. You guys get it.
And to the person who just said, I'm always scattered, you need to look at that. Because your energy has been given to so many people that it's left your body and it's dispersed everywhere. That's why you're scattered.
That just means you're fragmenting
You're
yourself.
fragmenting yourself. You need to take your power back.
And that can be a simple visual too. You could close your eyes and be like, okay, how many fragmented versions of myself are out there? And what's the first number that comes into your mind? Let's say it's 5. Then see in your mind's vision, right, which is a lot to do with your subconscious. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between your fantasies and what it determines as reality when your eyes are open. So little like subconscious hack. But closing your eyes, seeing those 5 versions of you, and then calling them all back again. I think that was probably something like my roommate and I had a conversation about that. So she's like, oh my God, that's so me. That's so everybody.
That's why there's not a lot of people who are actually in their body.
But you can consciously fragment yourself, meaning it's not really fragmentation. You're sending off different parts of you to go retrieve information for you.
Totally.
But then you remain in observance of everything that you feel energetically.
Yeah.
Most people are scattered or whatever. They don't feel good. If you're in control of everything you're doing, you're delegating different tasks to like your different energies, then they can go collect information for you.
Totally.
They're like bone collectors. They're like the bone collector. So like that's what you have to do.
And it's like, we've talked about having the internal compass, right? You have your chakras, you have your biofield lines, you have all of that stuff, right? So imagine a compass has north, south, east, and west. If you're fragmented, then you've got like north, northeast, west, like southeast. You've got like all of these different, and every direction in between. Like you have too many different directions. Of course you don't know which way to go,
right?
Metaphorically. If you can just like simplify it, feel that energy in your body, the north, south, east, and west.
And take a time out if you have to. Like shut the world out, realign.
Right.
And then resume.
Yes. But in alignment, then it's easier to follow on your true path, if you will, or find your deeper purpose.
Yes.
But if you're not connected with your higher self, then of course you're still questioning, what is my purpose? And there's, work that can be done around that as well, too, of getting, just connecting with all that. Awesome. We love you guys. There's lots of crazy energy tonight. Mm-hmm. So somebody asked about the full moon. Again, yes, it's really just intense. Whatever emotions are coming up for you so that you can step into that next version of yourself. And do you want to? Do you like, what is your value system for you and your life?
Exactly.
Where are you, if you did like an equation on where all of your relationships are, your romantic relationships, your business relationships, your relationship with money, your relationship with body, all that stuff, and you took an estimated sort of, assessment, what would that look like? And which areas are less exciting or less inspiring? Let's say that. Awesome. Yay, Leo. Totally. Leo rising. So all the Leos are getting hit. Leo risings are getting hit. Do you have Leo in your chart?
I don't know if I do.
Okay. We should look that up.
Totally.
We'll do that after.
Totally.
Awesome. Does seeing synchronicities and signs mean that you are in alignment? Do you want to take that?
Yes, it means you're in alignment. It depends, right? Because we attract what we look for. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking for a synchronicity, you'll probably find them. So your subconscious is going to constantly pulse out that signal to then receive the synchronicity. Mm-hmm. The question is, do you feel aligned? Do you feel like you're on the right path? That's what matters. Don't give power to the synchronicity. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Don't give power to the synchronicity. Observe it, be in gratitude for it, but don't be like, oh my God, now I can let, you know what I mean? Like, give all your power over.
Right.
We do that with everything and everyone sometimes, and we have to learn how to keep our stance, like recognizing that you're a divine being, like you truly are a piece of God. You're a piece of the whole. So it's like, all right, cool, synchronicity came to give me a message, thank you. But don't lose yourself in that. And be like, oh my God, that means I'm in alignment, because you're still depending on the synchronicity to feel like you're in alignment. Mm-hmm. You have to ask yourself, am I in alignment? Mm-hmm. Am I where I want to be? Because you do get to create what you want. We're in a new energy now. It's not like let go and let God anymore. Mm-hmm. It's co-create with God. Mm-hmm. That's what it's about.
Creating your own destiny.
Yes.
What was the thing I just came up with today? Future fating.
Future fating, yes.
Future fating. Like you're creating your own destiny. Mm-hmm. Choosing the path that you want and then creating your fate.
Exactly. It's
a little brainstorming session.
Collaborative energy now. So we have to feel the inspiration, so don't just force it. So generate as much energy as you can, and then once the inspiration strikes like lightning, then you go and you run with it.
Yeah. Loving that.
Cool.
Nearly impossible for me to clear my mind in meditation. Any advice? Do guided visualizations until you can get to the actual like meditation that's like nothing. So it means your mind is going too fast. And so it's harder for you to then just stop and like clear everything out. So do something that will guide you, because the guidance can then, you're being led. So you're following something.
Yes.
To then ultimately like reach up to the point where you can just listen to music and just clear out all of your thoughts.
Or maybe another thing that you can add to that is
Totally.
maybe you keep trying to meditate.
Yeah.
But try to find a space within you as all of those thoughts are flooding in where you're not going to get threatened by those thoughts, or you're not going to judge those thoughts.
Oh.
So one thing that
Like
I like...
hear them.
Yeah, hear them, all this, but
Yep.
it's almost like imagine that you're lying on grass and you're seeing shooting stars.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and then you can just kind of find that sweet
Are
spot.
the thoughts shooting stars?
The thoughts are shooting stars.
Okay, that makes sense.
And you're lying on the grass. So
Yes.
all these thoughts are floating above you.
Yes.
And you're just going to observe them. And through that, those thoughts can actually help you find that sweet spot within you. Because you're having to find that
good.
secret hiding place within you.
That's
and if
good.
you find that sweet spot within you, then you can navigate your reality in your everyday life. You can find that sweet spot and be unaffected by traffic, or be unaffected by what this person said to you that would have thrown you into a defensive posture. Right?
Dig that. Dig that.
Yes.
And I'm going to come out soon with a guided visualization meditation that I will be making available for download.
Yes.
So look out for that. My goal is to have it done by the end of this month,
Good.
which is like tomorrow. All right, what do we got?
I keep having out-of-body dreams. Oh,
Ooh. Out of body dreams. Let's talk about that. Wait, where is it?
see. That one right there.
I keep having out of body dreams where I can control them. Nice.
Lucidity.
Lucid. Can I feel, let's see, can control them and feel myself leave my body. Dope. But I don't mean to do it. Okay. Sometimes it's cool and I like it, and sometimes I get freaked out. Okay, cool. So, dope. So I lucid dream a lot as well, and there's only been a couple times where I've like fully gone out of body. It's more so astral projecting, but if you're going absolute out of body, just know, and maybe you can, to sort of strengthen that awareness, have set a clear intention before you go to sleep that reminds you that your energy body and your physical body will always find their way back to themselves or to each other, right? So if there's any fear, let's say, of going out and getting lost, like there's always a cord that is connected. You will always find your way back to your body.
Just like your twin flame's going to find you when it's time.
Right.
You don't have to try so hard. Your twin flame will find you when it's time.
All on its own. And just setting that intention before you actually go to sleep. But know that you're set a protection thing around you if you feel like you need to, but you're going out and you're getting information, and then you're bringing it back.
And I feel like you're still resisting the process a little bit. Like your guides are trying to take you, trying to steer your ship in that direction, so just go with it.
It can be scary though, yeah.
Of course
like
it's scary.
Your body, like whenever I did it, my body would like start shaking,
course.
and it feels just very uncomfortable because your body's vibrating, because it's like, hello, like my
Right.
energy body's not here anymore. There's something not here.
Yeah.
There's a missing for your body. So of course it can feel uncomfortable.
But like everything, it has its levels.
Totally.
Like you don't just go into the gym and master that overnight.
Right.
So your guides are working with you on trying
Totally.
to like unpeel
Yeah.
that particular arena of,
Yeah.
of thought or of frequency.
Because it's your subconscious. It's access to subconscious and other different dimensional realities.
Yep.
So it can get very playful.
Totally.
Just set a intention for what you allow to come around you and what you don't allow to come around you in those different realities. That's all I'll say about that. Are you two twin flames? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Okay, so you're new. You don't know that we are soul friends, not twin flames. Soulful brother and sister from another galactic lifetime that managed to find each other again in this lifetime. So, wink, wink, back to you. We act a lot like brother and sister.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. How cool is it that we found each other, though?
I think it's fucking dope. Like, again, hey, we're having a blast. We're like, we should come back down and do that again sometime.
I know. Loneliness
awesome.
is
We love you.
loneliness is a purging of old energies that are no longer in sync with your current energy body. So when you feel loneliness, just be in acceptance of that and feel that, and know that you're shedding stuff that needs to be shed. If we resist being alone, then we're going to go out and we're going to miss the opportunity to then shed. So just acknowledge where you are when you're lonely, and that's that.
Yeah. What are you... Loneliness is also, like, it's the lack energy, right? So if you're lonely, then you're saying, okay, there's something that I'm not full of. Right? Which is then where you're like, okay, I want that person to be in my life so then I won't feel lonely. And again, the same conversation that we keep having is find that loving energy so that you can enjoy that, like, time alone or whatever it is, that you can have a blast doing your own thing.
Don't fill your donut with external filling.
Right. But wait, is that what donuts are filled with?
No, they're filled with... You have to find that light within and fill yourself up with that filling.
You gotta find
the cosmic filling.
Your donut needs to find its own filling.
It does. I mean, guys, no one said it would be easy to find that source of light.
What about the donuts that don't have a hole in the middle?
Oh, maybe those are just like young souls that are going to eventually learn how to find... to become like donuts with filling.
Those are the lonely ones?
Or maybe they don't need the filling anymore.
Hey! Your donut without a hole in the middle, it doesn't need
the filling anymore.
You got your shit. You just need to be a donut.
Donut. And no one said that it was easy to find. Like, I really think of the body and the mind and the spirit as like a maze. And you have to kind of like travel through these different tunnels using your breath, right? And find those other realities. That's not easy, but it takes devotion. It takes discipline, and it takes focus coupled with relaxation. Like it's, but you have to devote yourself to finding that sweet spot.
We got donuts. We got some spirit cake.
We got some spirit cake.
Donuts. I like that you said that. Yes, 100%. Be your own damn donut, okay? Just be your own donut.
Be your own donut.
You're your own sweetness. You can be frosted glaze. You can be sprinkles on top. You can be whatever you want. You can be chocolate glaze.
Apple fritter.
Ooh. Which donut are you? And then your matching donut will find you.
Exactly.
Because they're their own donut too.
Ooh, the filling will find you.
Ooh.
And then it'll look like a weird...
Hey, baby, will you be my donut filling? Now that's what you say to your next date. Or your current partner. Baby, I'm the donut. Will you be my filling? Come on, that's hot.
That's hot.
Hey.
What's that cookie with the white and the black? The black and
the
white, right?
Oreo.
No, the one with the halfway, half black. Half chocolate, half vanilla.
Have chocolate,
Anyways,
have vanilla?
whatever.
A
All right,
ding-dong?
let's do a quick plug real
A
quick.
ding-dong.
So please follow Spirit Cake, you guys.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
At
and
spirit_cake. For all of those that don't already know Phil, follow
yes,
Phil Good Life.
Thank you, guys.
For all of you that are jumped over from Phil onto my page,
Thank
I
you.
love you. Thank you guys for staying and tuning in. We do this every Tuesday.
We had a few technological problems, but we don't let
get
things
in our way.
Daunt us.
We don't let donut holes get in our way.
We don't. We just push through those barriers because we know that there's growth there.
We love you guys so much. And of course, if you guys want sessions, you can find those both on either of our links
For sure.
in our bio.
We love you so much.
We love you so much. Mwah.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a lovely, amazing night and good, what are we, blue, super, moon, Leo,
Yes.
eclipse thing tomorrow. Don't hide under a blanket. Conquer your fears and be amazing spiritual badasses.
Bye.
Mwah.